How you doing, everyone? Welcome back. This is actually take two on this video because the first one was so full of barking dogs that I couldn't stay focused. So my wife took our dog inside, which caused the neighbor's dog to stop barking in this direction. So, because they were barking at each other. And it was actually our dog that started it. Anyway, what I was talking about before I restarted this video, I just completely deleted the old one and started over. What I was talking about was the penis in a suit, Stephen Miller. And please let the penis in a suit catch on. That needs to become a thing, because that's exactly what he looks like, isn't it? Stephen Miller, he's, what, Deputy Chief of Staff or whatever? I don't even care what his title is. Don't even care, but he's within the administration. And full-blown fascist. And he was being interviewed on one of the news programs. I don't remember which one. It was a blonde lady interviewing him. And I want to say it was CNN, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And I didn't see the entire interview. I only saw this clip of it where he was complaining about the judiciary slapping down the administration, right? Well, when the administration does things that are illegal or unconstitutional, that's the judiciary's job. Now, granted, they can't just step in and say, hey, you can't do that. Somebody has to bring a case before the courts in order for the courts to take action, right? And that happened. Well, penis in a suit Steve Miller doesn't like it. Says it's judicial overreach. Let me guess, it would be legislative overreach if Congress tried to take away some of the powers that they ceded to the president, right? I'm sorry, but the unitary executive theory, which is it's a common thing believed on the right, one which nobody should support, because if we have a unitary executive, that means that we don't have three functioning co-equal branches of government, right? What it means is that we have the executive up here and then the other two down, somewhere, right? And it would probably go President, Congress, courts. But no, it's not supposed to be that way, not at all. In fact, yes, they are all equal, but if one is supposed to be the weakest, if any one of those is supposed to be the weakest, should be the presidency. Should be the presidency, because that's one guy. And one guy should not be making massive decisions. Let's take tariffs, right? Which the tariffs are actually where he's overstepping, because that's a function of Congress, one that Congress is not doing. So they need to step up and reclaim their authority, take it back from Cheeto-Leany or whatever you want to call him. And yeah, the penis in a suit's going to complain about it, but who cares? What power does he have? What power does he have, really? So, Stephen Miller, nobody cares what you think, man. Nobody. And if the president wasn't overstepping his bounds, the courts wouldn't be telling him that he's overstepping his bounds. But of course, they're all radical, leftist, communist, Marxist, whatever else. There's a whole litany of things whole list of things that they like to throw out there. some of which cannot coexist within the same person. For example, you cannot be a fascist communist. They are like polar opposite. So, I mean, that's just one of the things that they get stupidly wrong. But keep in mind, Trump-appointed judges have slapped down Donald Trump. So what does that say? Does that say that either all judges are out to get him? Or does it say that does it say that he has terrible discretion when it comes to picking judges? Does it mean that once they become judges, they automatically become radical leftists? Or, here's one to consider. Maybe the regime is just doing things that are illegal. I mean, that's something worth considering, when you look at the fact that he's been convicted of 34 felonies, and the fact that he had, something like over 90 felonies brought against him in 4 or 5 different jurisdictions, and the fact that had they not been slow-walked, he could actually have been convicted on dozens more. The documents case, I don't even remember them all. I mean, it's hard to keep track of them all. The insurrection, I can't even keep track of them. Election interference, trying to blackmail the officials in Georgia, or if not blackmail, he was trying to extort them. So, I don't know. But the judiciary slapping down the executive doesn't mean that the judiciary is corrupt, because that would mean that all the judges have to be corrupt, right? All of them? Every single one? I doubt it. In fact, Donald Trump himself appointed to the Supreme Court three justices: Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, Barrett. Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh are the most likely of those 3 to go along with Trump. And, I think that they have not so far been very good justices. Amy Coney Barrett, however, I disagree with a lot of her decisions, but I think she is at least acting in good faith and doing what she thinks is right. Okay, I mean, that was a cardinal just now. So, sorry, I get distracted easily. I mean, but when a bird comes up and lands right behind you like that, you tend to notice it. So, Amy Coney Barrett. She makes some decisions that I don't like, and I agree with her sometimes, which to me indicates that while I think she is wrong often, she is at least a good faith actor, which is not what was expected of her. By both sides, really. I mean, the left expected her to just go along with anything and everything. that the right wing wanted. She doesn't do that. And of course the right wing also expected her to go along with anything and everything the right wing wanted. So, judges who rule against Trump are all radical leftists, even if he appointed them. So what does that say about him and his decision-making? What does that say about us and our decision-making that we put that guy back in office? I mean, us as a whole, not, more than likely the people watching this video, and definitely not me, right? I mean, not that I don't make bad decisions sometimes, but, that's just part of life. Anyway, the judiciary is there to be a check on not only the administration regime, but also the legislature, the regime, or what would normally be an administration, is supposed to be a check on the judiciary and the legislature, and the legislature is supposed to be a check on the judiciary and the regime, which hopefully will be an administration again someday. So, to the courts, to the judges who are making their rulings, hey, look, do what you have to do, make the decisions that are right within the confines of the law and the Constitution. And if that keeps pissing off the penis in a suit, so be it. By the way, Stephen Miller, if you're watching this, you really do look like a penis in a suit. I'll catch you next time.